It was a really tough break for the San Francisco 49ers when they lost all-pro safety Talanoa Hufanga for the season. However, the 49ers did trade up into the third round to make sure that they were able to get Ji'Ayir Brown out of Penn State. And as we know, these last couple weeks, Ji'Ayir Brown is really starting to flourish in this defense. Well, Ji'Ayir joined Richard Sherman's podcast to talk about his whole kind of career and his backstory and everything up until this point. And it's a phenomenal listen. But there's this one part that I really liked and I wanted to share with you guys. And it was Ji'Ayir Brown's recollection of his first career interception. And if you guys don't remember, it was against the Buccaneers, and it was that tipped pass where he was able to go up and get basically the game sealing interception. Well, after that play, he explains what made it so special. Obviously, it was his first career interception, but there was a really cool moment that happened, and I want you to listen to it, and then we'll talk about it more on the other side. Take a listen right here to Ji'Ayir Brown on his first career interception.
Tell me about how that first pick felt.
Oh my God, man. That probably my favorite pick, of my career, through all the years playing football. Number one, because my mom was in that end zone.
Nice.
My she's been my biggest fan since, I was 6 years old, since I started playing the game of football. And she's been there, with me through those trials and tribulations of, people undermining my talent and not putting the amount of respect, on my name. And she's been there with me through it all. She take it a little harder than I do. I'm more of a, it is what it is, more work to do kind of guy. She it's a personal thing with Mom Dukes.
Right,
She's
right.
like, don't nobody play with Mom Dukes, baby. And for her to see that, at this level, it beats any accolade, any accomplishment I ever accomplished in my life. Just to make my mother proud, and that was one of the things I set out on as a kid, that I wanted to accomplish in my life, was to put that smile on her face. So that was the biggest reason why, and just to be there for the guys when they needed me, man. I feel like, as a rookie and getting your first start, against a good team, Tampa Bay, and coming in, guys think of rookies, he's young, he's gonna mess up, he's gonna do this, just to come in ready when your name is called, I think is one of the most honorable things, you can have as a rookie. And I didn't want to let Fred down. I didn't want to let Nick down. I didn't want to let the DBs down. I didn't want to let nobody in that organization down, when Huff went down and, people started to feel like, who's next, and feel like the stuff is going to change, so just to come in and make that play was a great feeling.
It was a fantastic play. It was a huge play in the ball game, really kind of sealed it up for you guys. But the greatest compliment I think I could give you is that you don't notice you out there. And you don't notice you're a rookie. You don't notice you're in the best possible way. When you lose an all-pro player at any position, at any level of any defense, offense, anything, you notice it. You notice it. Like, you lose an all-pro tackle, the next dude coming in ain't going to be an all-pro. You lose an all-pro corner, the next dude ain't going to be on the same level. You have come in and played at a very high level. I mean, arguably equal to what Talanoa was doing. And that's no slight to Talanoa, because he's been playing at an all-pro level.
Now, this is really cool to me that Ji'Ayir Brown got his first career interception in the end zone, in which his mom happened to be sitting in. And for you guys that don't know, up until this point, Ji'Ayir Brown really hadn't played all that much. He played very minimal snaps. I think, as you guys know, Chase Young was traded for at the trade deadline. At that current point in which Ji'Ayir Brown had entered the game, Chase Young had played more snaps on the defensive side than Ji'Ayir Brown had up until that point. So it was awesome that his mom was in the stadium there in that end zone where Ji'Ayir Brown got his first legitimate playing time in a really, really big moment. And he did two awesome things in that end zone. He had that one really nice pass breakup with Mike Evans, and then he had the game sealing interception. And then that special moment with Fred Warner where he comes over. You remember Ji'Ayir was like looked like he got hurt, but he got the wind knocked out of him because he landed on the ball. And then you had Fred Warner come over and kind of pat him on the back and said, "You just won us the game." And you know, it was a really special moment. We've posted it before, but again, like when you look at this type of player, when you look at Ji'Ayir Brown and you listen to his whole story and you start to understand what makes him tick, like his first go to of what was so special about his first career interception was about his family. It was about his mom being there, being able to witness it in that end zone. And those are like the things where you can tell Ji'Ayir Brown isn't motivated from a sense of just playing for himself. He's playing for his family. He's playing for his hometown. And that's and he's playing obviously for himself. And he talks about in the interview about, kind of having a chip on his shoulder for how late in the draft he went and all these different types of things. He was a community college kid, goes to Penn State, gets overlooked in the draft. But the 49ers select him, and the rest is history. And I think you should go listen to the full interview if you haven't already. It's phenomenal. I'll drop the link in the description below. But man, Ji'Ayir Brown's a special player. Like we got a guy. Like I'm not even I obviously I was very high on Ji'Ayir Brown heading into the draft. He was a draft crush of mine. He was a guy that, heading into this draft, we knew the 49ers needed a safety. Because although Tashawn Gibson has been phenomenal, we know he's up there in years, and so they have to have a succession plan in place. And so we knew safety was at the top of the list in regards to needs in the draft. So throughout my scouting process, Ji'Ayir Brown was a guy that I fell in love with throughout that process from his tape. I didn't know who he was as a player. I didn't know who he was as a person. And that's what we're still learning. We're learning still who Ji'Ayir Brown is. And with these types of interviews, we're getting more of a glimpse into who he is. And what you're starting to sense is he is a very mature, very driven, very confident young man. And in the sense of not cocky confidence, but extremely humble confidence, he has full belief in his ability. He has full belief in what he's able to do. And he believes that he belongs. He believes he's that guy, but not in a cocky way. He's just that confident in his ability. And you're starting to see it come through on the field. And getting to listen to him talk, you can just see, like, you can just sense, like, he's a great guy. And the 49ers got a good one. So obviously we're loving what he's doing on the field right now. But man, when you get to know the guy a little bit better, and we get to see more stuff like this from him, he's a great he's a great addition, man. The 49ers are in good shape. Obviously, really sucks what happened to Talanoa Hufanga. But Hufanga will be back, and pretty soon, whether it's next year or the year after, it's going to be Ji'Ayir Brown and Talanoa Hufanga in that back end. And that's a good spot to be for the San Francisco 49ers for the future. Two young baller safeties patrolling the back end. Man, what a great spot to be. Shout out to the 49ers, their staff, John Lynch being able to pinpoint a guy like this. What a phenomenal player. And the 49ers are already seeing the early returns. Like I said, if you want to see the entire interview, which I do recommend, you go watch. The link is in the description. Go watch the full thing. And then as well, as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.